Los Angeles, California. Millions and millions of people live here. This city and cities around the world are expanding at the fastest rate in history. In fact, the entire population of the planet is expanding like never before. 6 billion people now live on the Earth. Human population is growing so fast that it threatens to overwhelm the Earth's ability to provide for us and the other animals and plants. The proof is 1 billion people are hungry and living in slums. 2 billion have no electricity. Thousands of animals are going extinct. Pollution is grossing us all out. And in the meantime, the human population on Earth is growing much faster than ever before. Now, if that's not a stressed out planet, what is? So how does such an enormous human population affect our lives?
Most of our classes are like a lot of people are in them.
It's too many people that are hungry, so maybe there are too many people.
Just too many young people that don't know what they're getting into having babies.
It's really important that people are aware that their actions affect not only themselves but the whole planet, and whether it's the products they buy or how long someone stays in the shower or whether they drive a car at all of that is really important and has an effect.
It's gotten to the point where it's such a drastic thing where they have to actually limit the amount of people you can have in your family.
There's a lot to think about in this world these days, and a lot of the discussion you've just seen is connected to an issue that's often avoided: human overpopulation. Hi, I'm Alexandra Paul. This is a film about human numbers and how the growing population of humans is affecting all of us. Just look at our planet. It's an amazing place. But if we don't take care of our world, then we can kiss mankind goodbye. Every day, 260,000 people are added to the planet. Presently, there are nearly 6 billion humans on Earth. And 50 years from now, there could be 12 billion. Now, I admit that it's hard to grasp big numbers like this, especially since we don't notice all these people being added. But then again, maybe we do notice.
Traffic at all times of the day, and you're wondering where are all these people going?
For several years now, I've owned an electric car because my gasoline car pollutes a lot, and I feel it's very important for me to support any technology that helps our environment. I love my car. It's really quiet, and it pollutes much, much less than a gas car. So what does this have to do with overpopulation? Well, there are so many people on the planet, and we are all creating a lot of pollution. But if each of us worked harder to pollute less, there wouldn't be so much damage to our environment. I drove my car to see my friend Jordy, who spends a lot of time outdoors because he's a professional surfer. This means that he sees firsthand some of the environmental consequences of having so many people on the planet.
It's just the feeling you get out there, it's like none other in the world. It's, you know, you're like one with the ocean, and it's like almost like a drug, you know. I need my daily fix. And it's healthy, you know, it's a healthy sport when it's not polluted. Out here, for instance, in Santa Monica, it's probably one of the most dirty beaches in California. You can't see your feet some places when you're sitting on your board. I mean, it's so densely polluted you can't even see that far down. I've got some swollen lymph nodes, and I've got bad coughs and really heavy mucus, and bad ear infections, all that.
So tell me, Jordy, how do you think the number of people in LA affect the ocean? Does that make the ocean dirtier?
Well, Obviously, with the more people, they produce more waste. And sometimes, like on a major holiday, when the beaches are just crowded with tons and tons of people, they just leave all their trash and their garbage behind. And then when the tide comes up, it washes the stuff back into the ocean. My mom and a friend of hers participated in a beach cleanup at Malibu Surfrider Beach. And their mission was to pick up the cigarette butts. And I think they found something over like 60 or 70,000 cigarette butts on one beach, one stretch of beach.
What do you think about people, they come and they throw their trash in the ocean? A lot of them think that if they throw it in the ocean that it will just disappear and that's fine, it's sort of not there anymore.
Well, I think we should be able to go to their house and throw garbage all over their house because it's essentially the same thing. And there's dolphins and there's whales that live out there. I think it's horrible. They shouldn't even be allowed at the beach. I mean, it's like, I can't believe that people are that careless.
So, let's get some facts and figures from an expert on how overpopulation affects our urban environment, our water, and our oceans.
Well, you see, sewage and storm drain pollution is my life. And when you look at the bay and the beach pollution problems that we have, boy, they're all due to the fact that we have 9 million people in LA County who still haven't quite figured out that when they throw something on the street, they could end up swimming with it tomorrow. The more people we have in the region, the tougher it's going to be to clean up the ocean. A lot more trash, a lot more toxics gets into the storm drain system. Just common sense, everyday things. People who don't clean up after their pets, people who change the motor oil in their car and just dump it into the street, paint getting dumped in the street, even gardeners who dumped all their lawn waste into the street. That all goes into the ocean and all potentially causes a pollution problem for marine life or a health threat for humans. And when you realize that there's a real risk of swimming in front of storm drains, literally 1 out of every 25 people who swims in front of a drain is going to get sick. And no one wants to go to the beach and get sick.
So, Mark, what's the bottom line? What do people have to do?
The bottom line is, if we got trash or animal waste, throw it into the trash can. If you got toxics, make sure you drop it at a household hazardous waste drop-off center, or more importantly, just don't buy the toxics to begin with. So there's a lot of things that all of us can do to really make our beaches safe for us and for marine life.
When we talk about pollution, we're also talking about consumption. And in the United States, we consume way more than is necessary. The more people on the planet, the more people you have to feed. But food's not the only thing we consume. We consume things every day like wood for paper or gasoline for our cars or even water to flush our toilet. And sometimes we do these things without even thinking about how it affects our planet. The whole world hangs in the balance. You see that cute little boy over there? His name is Andrew. Because he's growing up in America, he will produce over 6 million pounds of garbage in his lifetime, use 43 million gallons of water, and more than 3,000 barrels of oil. Now, how does that compare with someone growing up in Kenya or India? An American uses 32 times more energy than a person from India and 374 times more energy than someone from Kenya. An American child uses so many more resources than a child in a developing nation. That means we have to learn to consume less and keep our family sizes small, preferably 2 children or fewer. If everyone in the world had the lifestyle we do in the U.S., how long would our resources last?
If all 6 billion people lived the American dream, that's a global nightmare. If everybody wanted to have clothing and cars like they see on shows like Friends or Cheers or whatever, then we are promoting a lifestyle which will accelerate the destruction of the planet. We're selling the message that having more and more stuff is good. That message is wrong. Take, make, and waste. We're taking, making, and wasting too fast in this country. Other countries are behind us just by virtue of technology. If they catch up to us, it's all over a lot faster.
This is in glass because it's easier to recycle. This has recycled packaging, and these fruits are organic. It's really important to shop at places that cater to natural, organic, and vegetarian foods.
Paper or plastic?
Oh, no thanks. I brought my own.
You get a nickel for using your own bag.
Thanks. See? It pays to save the planet. So people often ask me, Alexandra, why are you talking about overpopulation to Americans? I mean, you should be making this video for people in China and India and Mexico, where they have much bigger families. They have the overpopulation problem. And I tell them that America does have smaller families, but we use more resources because of our high standard of living. So we damage the earth much more than those countries with larger families. As resources vanish, wildland vanishes, and other species go extinct. Dozens every day, right in our own backyard.
There's so many problems. We're driving most of the species on this planet to extinction. At the rate we're going, 60% of all other planet animals on this Earth are going to disappear forever. The problems are like a waterfall. They're so diffuse, there's so many of them. I think people are afraid to talk about overpopulation because no one wants to come out officially and say, I don't like people, I want there to be fewer people. We're all in the same boat together. It's called Spaceship Earth. We've got to learn to work together. And I think if people recognize that every time you add 100 million people to the planet, you've got to also add thousands of schools, 100 million jobs, and millions of food plates, pairs of shoes, roofs over their head. So overpopulation is the #1 environmental nightmare on this planet. Everything else is related to it.
California has the highest teenage pregnancy rate in the developed world. Parenthood can be wonderful, but it's not always easy, especially for a teenager.
When I was 15, I got pregnant, and I didn't get pregnant on purpose. It was a very big accident. First months were really hard because, like, of all the pressure of having to tell my dad, and I didn't live with him, but, you know, he had always thought because I went to a medical magnet school, I was going to be a doctor. I wanted to swim with the dolphins, and I wanted to be a veterinarian, and that one step, it really changed my life a lot. It really did.
First of all, I think a lot of teenagers and young adults decide to have a baby for the wrong reasons. Many times they feel that this child will love me unconditionally. And yet, once that baby comes along, it becomes more of a burden.
I guess because I used to babysit a lot of kids, I used to think it was going to be easy, you know. Oh, I know how to change Pampers, I know how to make a bottle, I know how to feed kids. It's not going to be, you know, that much. But until you have a baby, that's when you know that it's a lot different. It's a lot harder. You can't go home whenever you want to. Whenever you go somewhere, you have to pack the baby's things. You know, you have another person to take care of. It's really stressful, especially when I was in high school, when he was younger. It's not that easy doing homework and then having a little baby crying that he's hungry or something like that. When I was in high school, my friends, when they want to go out, I couldn't go out, you know. I mean, if I was different and I just wanted to leave my son anywhere, then I could have done that, but I didn't want to do that.
Mama!
What?
My shoes!
Oh, okay. Let's tie your shoe. Come here. Let's tie your shoe.
The other thing that's very difficult is financially. They feel because they're living at home, they're getting everything kind of taken care of, that nothing's going to change. And in reality, it's a humongous change. A 16-year-old will not command the kind of job and income level that even a 21-year-old who's gone to college for 2 years with an AA or a bachelor's degree, they're just not going to get the kind of money that they need to in order to support a child.
It's really expensive, really, really. I mean, every time you go to the market, you're like spending all kinds of money just because they want this and they want that. His shoes that he has on right now cost me $50. That's a lot of money. I mean, my pairs of shoes cost me that much, and his shoes cost him $50. Oh, I'm going day by day, you know, just trying to work and just make sure he has food, make sure he has clothes, you know, he's not hungry. I mean, most of my money, it goes towards him, nothing towards me. If it does, it's because I work those extra overtime hours, you know, to buy myself something, but everything else is for him.
So there are a lot of reasons that it's important to wait. It creates a lot of stress because they don't have the choices that they once had. Their first priority is that child, as opposed to not having a care in the world, being able to do all of the wonderful things that they missed out on. So it's almost a regret.
Yeah, I was young and I regret it. I regret having my son at the time. I did, but I don't regret my son. You know, I just wish I could have been married, I could have had money, you know, and not have to worry about if I take him to a store, if he's gonna, you know, cry for something and I can't afford it. I should have waited and I should have used protection. I shouldn't have even had sex at that age. I should have just waited. Now I know what I'm going through and it's really, really hard. And I think, I mean, that one night, like, that was like ruined, I'm not gonna say ruined my life, but I mean, you know, it put us a step back. If you're not having sex, you should be really proud of yourself. Cherish the moment, or, you know, wait till you get married and, you know, wait till you know this man is gonna stand beside you. You know, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I want to get pregnant, I want a baby. It's really hard. It's really, really hard.
In my lifetime, the human population of the planet has almost doubled. We have about 6 billion people in the world, and every 10 years, we add 1 billion more. Properly feeding and housing so many people in these exploding cities will be difficult, to say the least. And what about the many animals and plants being wiped out by this avalanche of human beings? I know, you're thinking, well, natural disasters and wars or disease will keep the population down.
Between 1964 and 1983, natural disasters claimed the lives of almost 2.5 million people. How long do you think it took to add that same number of people to the world's population? 11 days. During the 20th century, wars and international disputes claimed the lives of more than 10 million soldiers. How long does it take to add that many people to our planet's population today? Less than 7 weeks. Every year, communicable diseases kill millions of people around the world.
But still, we're adding nearly 100 million people to our planet each year. So you see, natural disasters, wars, and disease haven't stopped our population growth. When you talk about the overpopulation issue, you're not just talking about numbers of people. You're also talking about how those people live. How does their lifestyle affect the planet? Well, here in the United States, our lifestyle affects the planet a lot. More than you might realize.
It's not easy to buy less when advertisements keep persuading us to spend our money on their products. We've come to believe that if a product is new or different, it must be better. Television and magazines have brainwashed me into feeling like if I don't keep up with the latest trends, like in clothes, then I won't fit in. So I end up buying things that I really don't need.
I want to be in the group that is like normal. You don't want to be the group that's being made fun of no matter what you say.
Messages are everywhere. Probably the number one source is television. The average teenager gets 20,000 30-second messages a year. That's 50 a day. The overwhelming message is, you are not enough. Now, that's not what they say. What they say is, you are one coat, one t-shirt, one toothpaste away from being happy, being fulfilled, having people like you. And if you go out and buy these things, you will feel good about yourself. And now we're taking that through satellite and through distribution all over the globe. 6 billion people are getting the message that more is better, and it's just wrong. All it leads to is taking resources out of the earth faster, making more stuff that we don't need, creating more waste that's going to follow us for hundreds of years. It's just a bad cycle. Accelerate.
In a recent study, 93% of teenage girls in America said that shopping was their favorite thing to do. Not reading, not rollerblading, not even dating, but shopping. Can you believe that?
I just like to shop. I just like to spend money. I just like something new.
It's like fun to go shopping with friends.
Tell me, what things do you buy when you go shopping?
Clothing, shoes.
Music. I buy movies. For my brothers and stuff, I buy toys.
Makeup and records.
And why do you buy makeup and records?
Because makeup could do miracles.
I feel like when I need to buy things because I see other people wearing it.
Sometimes you just have to have it just because you think it'll make you feel cool.
I wear it the first time, and then after that, I want something else new.
It's like... This is Alexandra. She's here to shop, and we're going to go with her to find out the buying habits of the American teenager. Come on.
I noticed that it was a problem when we were on our trip, and we did not see one historical monument or museum. We just went shopping.
Every time a new one comes out, we have it.
Ah, 3 of them, very good. Okay, thank you.
How does that feel?
Okay. I think I like these ones better.
You like them better?
Yeah.
Do you have any black sneakers with white soles at home?
Yeah.
But you need another pair.
Yeah.
American teenagers.
Shoes, really? Shoes.
How many pairs of shoes do you have?
5 or 6.
More than 20.
27.
About 40. 65 shoes. How many pairs of sneakers do you have?
Oh goodness, probably 7 or 8.
How come you need all those?
Because they're cute.
It sounds shallow, but I think they should match.
I see you putting a bag over that. How many bags do you give away every day?
A lot.
Do people ever ask you not to have bags?
No, not really, but they say no box.
No box. And what do you do with the box?
Throw them away.
Throw it away.
Yeah.
Now, there is a lot that we can do.
Hi. I bet you're wondering what I'm doing at a recycling center if this is a film about human overpopulation. Well, the more people there are, the more things we use. And the more things we use, the more trash we throw away. In fact, so much is being thrown away that our dumps are almost full. So what do we do with all this trash that we generate every day? I mean, no one seems to want to dump in their neighborhood, and you can't really blame them. And no, we can't just chuck it into space or dump it on another planet. But one thing that we can do is recycle.
Every day my dad puts his glass in the trash or whatever. I'm like, Dad, you know, you should recycle this. I mean, we try our hardest in our family. But my dad, he just doesn't think. He's like just throwing glasses away, throwing out aluminum cans away. And then like, do you know what you're doing? He's like, no, what? So, I mean, even adults, they don't know.
How much recycling do you get every day?
30 tons, about 60,000 pounds, at least 60,000 pounds.
60,000 pounds every day. And do you recycle at home?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I sure do. You'll see me coming here in the mornings with my little bags of recyclables.
So, recycling is very important, and if you care about the planet, you're probably already doing it. But even though we're recycling more and more, a growing human population is still having a negative impact on our planet.
One of the most interesting stories I know comes from Kenya in East Africa, not far from Mount Kilimanjaro. There, a small family planning association has been working with local villagers to decrease family size. Their economics are improved, their life quality is improved, their children are happier, there's more food to go around, there's more vaccines for kids. Everything looks better because they practice birth control.
How many children should couples have?
If you have a smaller family, parents can give more time to the children.
I wouldn't have more than 2 children of my own, and if anything, I'd be likely to have less and adopt so that I wouldn't increase the population and at the same time give children who otherwise might not have a chance to, have a loving family and grow up.
Experts believe small families are best, preferably with 2 children or fewer.
That way, you're just replacing yourselves, and eventually, the population will remain the same. And now, in the United States, we have an average of just over 2 kids per couple. But remember how wasteful many Americans can be. So it's absolutely crucial that we keep our family size small.
The answer's got to lie somehow in the next generation, that is, kids now, their mating behavior. Make sure you have a discussion with your spouse, with your loved one about contraceptives, that you know what you're doing when you decide to raise a child, that any child you decide to have, you're going to love, you're going to be able to support, you're going to be able to care for in a responsible fashion.
There are a variety of different birth controls. The first one is abstinence, not having sex and waiting to have sex until they're truly ready to take the risk.
I lost my virginity to the baby's father, and he left me for another girl. And the whole time that I was with him, I wasn't using any protection.
Parents need to start when these kids are little and talk to them so that by the time they're 15, they have enough self-esteem to say, hey, no, wait a minute, I'm not ready for this.
And it's really scary because
I tried to deny it, that he was messing up on me, but he was.
If we can keep it to 2, we're going to be able to limit the numbers overall on the planet, and it's going to be better for everybody.
We can wait until we really are ready to have kids. This will slow down the population growth by spacing births.
I think young adults have choices that they need to make. One of the things that they need to be aware of is that they need to be not only physically, emotionally, but financially ready to have a child, so that that child isn't a burden. It's truly a joy. It's something that they've waited for, made the choice, and decided now is the time to have a child.
When I get married, I want to, you know, have that time with just me and my husband, and then establish a family.
Buying less is very important. With more and more people on the planet, our natural resources are disappearing because we all need water, food, and shelter. But is it really necessary to buy as much stuff as we do? Does it really make us happier?
I think what happens is when you start to experience real happiness and satisfaction that has nothing to do with buying, and realize that that is really it, then I think you start to get a little bit of a sense that buying is just a substitution. This is an artificial high. When I do something that's satisfying, like writing, or like playing tennis, or just going for a walk on the beach, there's a deeper sense of satisfaction where I don't need anybody to tell me that it feels good. I feel it inside, and it lasts for a longer time.
Success, I don't think it's being rich or being famous. I think it's just being yourself and, you know, setting a goal in your life and achieving that goal.
You can't define success by what you have, but instead how you feel.
And when you do buy things, remember, you can choose products that are environmentally friendly. Recycling will help cut down on our waste. With so many people on our planet, we need to make sure that there's nature left for our grandchildren.
Everything you do, you have to say to yourself, is this necessary? Overpopulation, recycling, everything, it's all related to that.
A lot of people are not aware that in the last 65 years, the number of people on the planet has tripled. That means that there are 3 times as many people on Earth since your grandparents were born. We need to discuss the issue so that people understand the problem and so that they can change their lifestyle to solve it.
I mean, you might say, I'm not going to have sex with this person, but it might end up happening.
And just by, you know, starting with us even, if we start giving an example, you know, being role models, it eventually can be done.
If everyone gives a little, they'll get a lot.
Slowing down population growth and consuming less is important for our quality of life, our planet's health, and for the well-being of future generations. The decisions you make in your life will make a difference.